I am not Justin. I am, while you're very handsome, I am LaConda Moore. I am the Executive Director for Community Options here in Greenville. So we started Community Options in 1989 in New Jersey. We're currently in 11 states, and our mission is to develop housing and employment supports for persons with disabilities here in Greenville, South Carolina. And this is supposed to be touched. I'm trying that out. Something new, great technology we have. So we have 32 individuals that we support in 8 CTH2s, and we also have support employment, which is Untre here. He's working with the support employment group. She spearheads that. These are some of the houses that we have that are community training home too. So we have we have 8. This is one that we have in Greer, and the other one is in Spartanburg that we're showing here. And typically we have 3 to 4 individuals that live in the home. We do support male and female. We have a once-a-year fundraiser. It started in 2009 in New Jersey, and it started at our founding time of February the 9th. So every February we have a fundraiser, and that money goes to help the individuals that we support with clothing, if they don't have the money for clothing, with workwear, if they don't have money for workwear, and believe it or not, for vacations if they have never gone on a vacation or choose to do something else with that money. But all the money that we raise stays here locally. And this raises around all 11 states, and everybody gets to keep their own pot of money that they raise for the individual that we support. We have a business advisory committee. Each location has their own. Currently we have 8 members that serve on ours. And these individuals help us with housing. We've got a guy who's on here right now who is a realtor, and he is helping us with finding not the standard CTH2 apartments, but apartment downtown living. So we're looking to bring that to some of the individuals that we're supporting who has that desire, but who can't afford the actual price of living downtown. So we're excited about that. And then we have, let me go back, we have Hank. I want to definitely showcase Hank. It's one of the individuals that we support right here. And you'll see him later on in some of the slides. He also works at his local McDonald's in his community. So for support employment, we believe that everyone who wants to work should be given the support to do so, despite their level of disability. And that's where Untre comes in. She takes that assessment apart and she really figures out what is it that the person wants to do. And from that assessment, then she goes on and develops their skills and their interests and experience. And sometimes we find that people with disabilities don't know what they want to do because they haven't been acclimated to doing very much or to even figuring out what that is. So Untre does a lot of outside assessments, not sitting at the table talking about what it is that you'd like to do, but let's experience some of those things. Okay. This is Untre. So what we like to say at Community Options is approach beyond assessment. It's so important. You get that job, and then, okay, now what? Now what? You might have trouble with productivity. The company wants you to produce so much, and you can only produce this much. So that's where Untre goes in, but not only Untre, it takes a village. So if Untre's busy, guess who's going? Because on the ED, doesn't matter. Because somebody works at the desk, it doesn't matter. Johnny's got to be successful. So we all jump in and we help. It could be with self-care hygiene. You know, Billy might think he smells great, but his co-workers think he doesn't. So we need to help Billy with that without embarrassment, you know. So there's a code. We all have a dress code to follow, and so do the people that we support. And then retraining for new assignments. Typically, we all get new assignments, so we don't know how to do those assignments, and we ourselves need that retraining. So do the people we support. And so our ultimate goal is to minimize us, paid supports, and get them more natural supports. So that could be a friend on the job, or the co-worker, somebody works third shift. If they don't have a ride, they need a ride to work, let's work that out so that, hey, maybe your co-worker can pick you up. How many times have you had your car break down and you say, okay, now how am I going to get to work? Nobody? Yeah. And you got that great co-worker who will say, hey, I'll help you out. And so that's our ultimate goal for those that we support as well. So we believe that if we don't employ the people that we support, how are we going to ask someone else? And time I've seen at different companies where people are asking for employ the person that we support here with disabilities, but you yourselves don't want to do that. So our motto is we have Christine and we have Shantae there. And Christine helps us with maintaining the facility, keeping everything clean, but also keeping us in line too from time to time. And then we have Shantae, and I've asked if I can use their name, Blue Lace, yes. And so she answers the phones for us. So that's the first face you see when you come to the office, but that's also the voice you're going to hear when you call the office. And she's in learning those, and she's still practicing and learning, but she's doing a great job. And then I talked about Hank. We have a great partnership with Zaxby's. They're awesome with giving people with disabilities an opportunity to work in the facility. And not only that, they partner them up. And I'll let Andre talk a little bit about Hank and Zaxby's. There's a guy who owns Zaxby's, his partner. His name is Stuart. And Stuart is absolutely fantastic with the individual that we support. And not only is Stuart fantastic, but those who work for Stuart are fantastic. And I think it always starts at the head. It takes that leadership to say, we're going to be welcoming to all, and Stuart is just that way. And so I'm telling you, Hank is thriving and doing a great job. And then you have Julian over there, who's just an awesome, awesome young man. Julian said, when you talk about me, make sure you tell him I'm gay. I said, why? He said, because I am, and I want people to know that if you have a disability, it's okay to be gay. I said, yeah, it is. So I'll tell them that. If that's what you want me to tell them. He said, please do. But they have learned to embrace Julian and his differences. And it's okay. We're all one. Can we talk a little bit about that?
Sure. So supportive employment is somewhat new to the Greenville Community Options. Not Community Options as a whole, but just as our office started in August. So in August, I had 3 individuals. So since then, I got 10 more individuals that I am serving, and it's exciting, and I love it. And I am very passionate about my job. And I just think that the individuals that we serve, sometimes I spend a little more time with the assessments than DDSN wants to provide. So I called Susan Davis yesterday. And I was like, Ms. Davis, I'm just curious as to all of a sudden why the hours have decreased, the assessment hours have decreased to 5 hours. And she says, well, Entree, it does not take that long to do an assessment. And she was like, case managers, don't get as many hours as employment people do, and they get the job done. I just think that's enough hours. I'm like, well, there are several occasions where I've had to request additional assessment hours because I don't believe that you can truly place somebody somewhere and be successful without really getting to know them. So especially if it's somebody in the community that you don't work with on a daily basis, you don't know anything about them. And so you have to take time out to get to know them. And sometimes it takes a little more than that. So I have not went anywhere where, like we have Walgreens. We have all these wonderful programs that support people with disabilities. Personally, I have not chosen to go to any of those places, not because I don't think that they're wonderful, I do. But I just wanted to go out and personally place each individual. It's like I know Julian, I know how he is, so I know that he couldn't go down here, what IH provides at Nutra. I just knew that even though that program was available, it would not work for him. And that's what I take pride in. I even have individuals, one individual in particular, that I'm trying to place that I don't even provide quote unquote employment services for. I think he's actually assigned to voc rehab, but it has not been successful. And my thing is, it's not all about who gets the services, whether it is that the individuals get the service, And so I'm just eager to see us grow as a company, and I'm eager to see supported employment grow. I'm at almost every lunch and learn, every employment group, anybody going to the conference in Florida, I get to go. That took a lot of petitioning, but I get to go to the APSA conference in the Disney Orlando Resort, and I'm looking forward to that.
So she's going to learn.
Yeah, I can't wait to learn.
Exactly.
But so.
Very good. Thank you. So partnerships we have with Spartanburg Methodist College and North Greenville University. Some of our individuals working the food service I guess I would call it dining class there, and actually thriving and doing a great job. And so many of our individuals want to be college students anyway, so they feel like they're right in the hub of everything, and they've been really embraced and welcome there. So how do we hire folks? I took a survey from the individuals that we support, and the one thing they told me is, I don't want a caregiver, somebody just come here, I don't need somebody to give me a bath, I don't need anyone to cook for me, I can do all those things myself. And I don't want anyone to go in the store with me as if they're there to give me that type of support. I want a friend, I want a big brother, someone I can look up to. So this is how we advertise. We're hiring for you to come and work with us and become a big brother. Our guys like to go hiking, they like to do fishing, they like to do swimming, sporting things, outside things. Well, guess what? Caregivers don't want to do that. But not only will this big brother work with them in the house and teach them new skills they need to learn to move out and get their own apartment, but they're also there to say, hey, what about this? What about this? I'm going to challenge you to do something greater today than you did yesterday. That's what we're looking for, and that's who we want to hire. But we also want them to go to work with them if they need to go to work and help them learn how to do something. So we're changing how we hire, and actually it's worked. We've got more men now than we've ever had before working at Community Options, which is really nice. So we're thankful that they have allowed us to support them with their home and employment aspirations. This is some of the folk that we support and some of the things they get to do, like be on the news, go to Walmart, see some great pets, and those sorts of things, and then actually just go out and have a good time. You guys have any questions for us and about what we do or anything else? Thank you so much. Oh,
what is the age group?
We actually serve teenagers and on up to 60 and beyond if it's required. If someone's looking at that service. Anything additional? Yes.
How are you paid?
We're paid through Medicaid funding. We are contracted through DDSN. We're part of the qualified providers list. And so our services is listed on there for residential and for employment services.
So the housing, do you charge them per month, or how do you charge the resident?
We do charge them per month, and usually their Social Security check or what they work for can go towards paying their rent. And then DDSN pays for the staff support through the Medicaid funding, and also some state dollars that match that.
Any other
Thank you so
questions?
much.
All right, well, thank
Appreciate
you.
it.